hear from one woman. I'm here today with the amazing Dr. Sonja Stribling. If you came to a Fearless Summit, you've probably seen Dr. Sonja speak. Just a little bit of a background on Dr. Sonja. She's a transformation specialist, influence expert known as the General to Giants, and best-selling author of The Divorce That Saved My Life. She's a retired Army major, recipient of the Barack Obama Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, national speaker for Think and Grow Rich Legacy World Tour, and a former TV host on the Bravo Network. How are you today, Dr. Sonja?
I'm great. I'm amazing. I'm glad to be here. How are you today?
I'm great. Now, reading all that, Dr. Sonja, is there anything you haven't done?
Yes, I don't know what it is yet, but it's a lot of things I haven't done. But, those things are great, but it's, I had to get there. I had to build up to that. So it always blows my mind when I hear that. But, I had to get to this place, and I had to come from one place to get here for sure.
Yes, well, everything that you've done certainly shines when you step onto the Fearless stage and share your story and empower, for us, thousands of women around the world. So tell me a little bit about kind of your background and history and what's got you to this point of, sharing what you've done and what you do and how you help others.
Well, the background, again, what you said is great. And when that's read, I have to think, I said, okay, let me bring people back to where I started. Those things are great now. But, background, I'm from a small town in the U.S. and it's called Wilson, Arkansas. It's about 1,000 people there. And I came from a family of 12. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby of 12 kids. But the biggest thing of growing up, having the history that I had, and I share the story, but I don't want to share it in a way where people feel empathetic or sympathetic about it, but it's more just to know where I came from of, having my first child at 15, and then at 17, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And really, someone took my life. Like he raped me and left me there for dead. And then I had to go through all of that. And I truly felt, Charlotte, at that time that my life was over. I didn't have anyone around to have that conversation about. And so it made me grow up very quickly as a young woman, and really knowing that, I thought my life was over. And then having a young child, that kept me going. But, I kind of bounced back at least a little and pretended like many women do. And I played basketball, and I got a scholarship to play basketball. So that kept my mind off of things. I went to college for 4 years, joined the military very quickly after that. And I think that's when life really changed. I got a chance to go to a place where I could physically get out some of that energy that I had, and it was okay. I've been to 3 combat tours to include Iraq. And so I share that very briefly for folks to understand. I had to fight hard to get to the place of where I am now, because I felt, not just for me, I had a child that was watching me at the time. I now have 3 boys, 3 adult children. But I had to fight to get there mentally, because I really didn't think I was enough. I didn't think I was worthy of love. All those things I would say a lot of women deal with. And I had to deal with a lot of it alone. If it was not for my spiritual faith, I know I wouldn't be here. But more so of understanding that another woman needed to hear my story. That is the reason why I really wake up every single morning thinking, I got to save another woman. If it's just by my story or just giving her hope that, she can have the life that she really wants.
I love that. And what I love is that that's how you truly inspire women, is because I think somebody could look at your bio and your profile and picture a different story, that this woman grew up and, had everything maybe handed to her, all the opportunities in the world, maybe had a silver spoon, all that kind of stuff. And I think we can make those assumptions. It's lots of times we'll look at somebody who's successful, who's living their passion and purpose, and formulate something totally different as to how they got to be there. And that's what I love about when you share your own story, is realizing that we all have our story. We all have our parts that's broken, and that we don't feel worthy of these things, but that it's possible for each of us to do whatever we dream of.
Yes, absolutely. And it's almost, I hear women, oh, my dream, making my dream a reality. I truly, in my heart of hearts, my dreams have become a reality. And so when you ask me the question, I get asked that all the time. Well, what is it that you haven't done? I don't know yet, but when I get there, I'll let you know. because there's always something new that's evolving. And I truly believe once we as women really own our power, everything changes. It just shifts. And, sometimes honestly, Charlotte, I always share that, 4 years ago, I was in a very deep, dark place, depression. It had set in and I really wanted to take my own life. And I look back and I smile now. Folks like, what happened? What was the turning point? I said, it was just the fact that I didn't want another woman to suffer the way I did. And that was it. It wasn't, I just woke up like, I'm going to change me. No, I said, get up off your butt. And, I don't want to live like this. So if I'm going to, and this is just a conversation I had spiritually, like, Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And he was like, you're supposed to help other women. I was like, I can't even help myself. What are you talking about helping other women? I just need to get my life together. And I really set out on a journey just to help other women get to their next level. And what happened, surprisingly, Charlotte, everything about me changed. I became someone totally different. I wasn't focused on what I didn't have. I wasn't focused on, I went through a divorce that really changed my life. I didn't focus on those things. I focused on other women and really becoming the woman that I needed for someone else. That's exactly what I did. And it just changed for me. And so now I get to, stand before hundreds of thousands of women and say, I know that happened to you. I know this happened. I know this has happened. I was like, yeah, it's not the hashtag Me Too movement, but the hashtag it happened to me. And so now I just want to give women an example. And I don't take that lightly, that I get to stand and really show women that it's okay to come from this, but you can really have that if you want it.
I love that. And just how you can move a crowd, because I've got to sit front row to that a number of times now, and just how powerful of a speaker you are, that you literally move women. I mean, physically, like get out of their seats and move them to take action. And I'm curious as to where you found that voice and the bravery to then use it, because I think a lot of women really want to use it and have a powerful story, but stay small and keep it to themselves and don't share it. So where did you find that?
I think she found me. Honestly, I use it like a third person. I believe she found me because it's all about the passion. And some folks, they're like, oh, you're too rowdy, you're too this. And I was like, but that's who I am. And I know most women in most conferences we go to, everybody's sitting there, you may take a couple of notes or whatever, but no one is ever bold enough to ask or demand, I need you to get up for a second. Your next level needs you to get up for a second. Your next level. And there are women have been crying in the audience because they're like, oh my gosh, you asked me to do something. I can feel the passion you have. And some have literally said, Charlotte, I just want to touch you because your energy is contagious. And I realized that. And so what happens is I realize that every woman in the room is going through something totally different. But if I can just to inspire and empower that one woman, I've done my job being there. It's not about, just getting paid and all of that. Can I change the life or the trajectory of one woman in there, which has generations attached to her? That means more to me than anything, that I can change legacies in a room.
Yes. And I always love, there's one line that you always say about, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, let a wealthy family come from you. So I love that line so much. And it just sends chills up my whole body in terms of what everybody's capable of. And you're not your circumstance. And you can write a new story and a new chapter. And it all begins with each of us. And yeah, I love you, and I love what you do and how you inspire women. So let's talk about that in terms of, you're part of our Speakers Bureau. We love having you on so many of our Fearless stages. And if people come to any Fearless event almost next year, they're going to get to see Dr. Sonja. But, we have a lot of women who are putting on their own events, or maybe they have a business and a network that they're working with, or an organization where they need a powerful and dynamic speaker. And that's truly what you do, because you don't just speak on our stage, you speak on hundreds of stages. So let's talk about kind of the topics you are most passionate about sharing and talking about, and kind of what you love to empower people to do.
Well, I really have two, I would say three. There's a third one that's being added because I'm retired military, that people are learning more. And I've decided to go back and give more to the female military community, whether they're active duty and retired. And so I have a conversation with them, and I call it From the Battlefield to the Boardroom. And it's just really the women that are transitioning out of the military and looking for their own and creating their own table. And that became very near and dear to my heart because veterans were coming out of everywhere. And like, you were on television, you were doing this, and you were in the military. And sometimes I have to forget, I forget literally, like, you're doing something extraordinary. To me, it's like, hey, this is what I do. I understand, but I didn't just want to be an ordinary woman. I wanted to be extraordinary in everything that I do. So I speak on the military platforms. The other one is more of empowerment, more so than anything, but it's not just empowerment in life, it's in business. There are women, I would say every day, there are hundreds of women that start their businesses, but there are also hundreds of women that close it down. They shut it down because of life happens. There's a post out there, Charlotte, that I saw. It has a group of people on a racetrack, and they're in corporate attire. You got women with heels on their skirt, and the men have their ties, and they have it loosened up a little bit. You have two men, and you have three women. In front of the women, it has like clothes that are on a hanger. It has a dryer. It has babies. It has the kitchen. It has all these obstacles that are in front of the men. It didn't have anything, right? And I was like, whoa, that depicts exactly what we women are thinking about. We have so much. And so I really talk about tomorrow's empowered woman, and really how to produce wealth, because this is honestly what it's about. There are a lot of single moms out there. There are women that are married, but they want to be able to bring income to the household. And so I have those conversations, especially on the circuit of speaking. I think I love the, the thought about being able to get on a stage and empower people to do and move and do something different and change their mindset. And then, of course, on the life side, it is again about the thought process of what we have. And so I really don't speak on a wide variety of things, but I know what I'm gifted at, and I know what I'm good at is really inspiring people, not just inspiring, but encouraging and showing them tips. And Charlotte, this is one thing I love about your conferences. And the reason why this is what going into my third year is more of what you bring to the table, and the quality of women that come into those rooms is powerful. It's not just the women coming, this is just another, but you bring the quality people into the room, and you also bring even the more quality speakers. And that is something that I really always want to be a part of, those that are bringing a collective group of women together that really want more out of their life. And so the speaking platforms in which I speak on, they're limitless, but I'm very, very well gifted in the empowerment space and really producing wealth for women.
Yes, you sure are. And I think you hit the nail on the head. And something that I always chat with women about at events is a lot of times women have this business or this idea, but it's always on the side because of building that confidence piece and really building a business that they can thrive in and create the income that they deserve.
Yeah.
And there's so many complicated pieces to that, which I think that you are such a great excuse buster and really helping people on the things that they think are keeping them in, keeping them away from their dreams, but they're really not true, and really bringing that out in women to have that confidence and no obstacle in their way that's going to stop them from living that dream. And it's because you're living, breathing, walking proof of that, and why you can do it so well, which is
for sure. I mean, why get on the stage if you can't? Is so many. If we look around society, there's so many people that are pretending to do something. And I always made a promise to myself, I am not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I have to truly be walking this out. And how dare I go and coach and speak and train and do all those things if I'm not doing it? And so I had to be the first one. I had to go through my own course first. And when I did that, it's no problem to stand on stage and be the excuse buster for sure, because I know you're lacking confidence. I know you're lacking guidance, but I know you have the weight of the world on your back. Those things are true, but those should not be the things that stop you. And the biggest one, Charlotte, is one of the topics I just did. And it was, oh my gosh, it was massive and it was very well received. And it's called Addicted to Fear. And it was like, what? It was like up in your face, and women are like, oh my God, I get it. But there are two types of fears. There's one that's going to stop you, and just deny, delay everything that you're supposed to have in your life. And then there's a fear that pushes you forward. And I really speak on the one that you allow to push you forward, because I have fear in my life, but it pushes me. It doesn't stop me at all.
Yes, yes. And that's the thing, is changing your perspective on everything, and everything changes, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, probably the last thing that I wanted to mention as well is, you are one of the best speakers I've ever had the privilege of hearing. You are powerful and dynamic, and just the way you move an audience. And you do that as well, because this is what you do for a living, is you step onto stages and you get paid handsomely for sharing the gifts that you have, and you can really help women find their voice. And if that's what they dream of doing, is to step on the stage and share, is how to do that powerfully, and how to do that well, and how to create that as a business. And so I think that that's an important thing, because I know I've sent women your way. And I always tell people, if you're just kind of thinking about it, or just want to toe in the water, Dr. Sonja isn't for you. But if you're all in and you're ready to build a crazy life of your dreams, Dr. Sonja is the woman for you. So that's something else you do as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. A couple of years ago, and this is what, it wasn't, Charlie, that I woke up one day, you know what, I want to train other women speakers. I want to coach. That was not what I wanted. Literally, when I started my business, I was in a place where I just wanted to make $10,000 a month. Let's just be real. That's all, because I wanted to replace what I was making in the military. And now I'm a single mom, 3 kids, but 2 boys, and one was in college and one was at home in middle school. And I said, I just want to do X, Y, and Z. And so I just started coaching first. But then I realized that when I got on a platform, everything around me changed. The people started to shift. They started to react, and I get testimonial after testimonial of, hey, you changed my life. You said, do this. And I went and did it. And this is what happened. And then women began to ask, well, I want to be able to command the stage like you do. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I wasn't even realizing what I was doing. I was just doing it naturally. And so I set out on this mission, and I created a program called Women Speak and Grow Rich. And it was before I got on the platform with Think and Grow Rich. What are the coincidences of that happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it really speaks to, it's women speaking and growing rich. And it's not just on a platform, on a stage, it's just speaking your truth. And I call it giving your story a voice and a bank account, and which is so important in today's society for women just to find their voice and be able to provide as well for their family, because there are a lot of single women out there, but giving them the opportunity. So that is like my baby that I gave birth to. And oh my gosh, it is a handful, but it is amazing, because I get to work with so many amazing women around the world.
Yes. Well, and you do it so well. And I have to confess that you've definitely inspired me in terms of my speaking, because I watch you and it's like, Charlie, you need to pull up your socks. Like, you need to move the audience like Dr. Sonja does. So I became a much better storyteller, and definitely continue to work on that. And I look forward to, hearing you more and learning from you more, because like I said, you're just one of the best that I've ever seen. And they certainly don't ask you to be on the Think and Grow Rich Legacy Tour if you're not one of the best in the world. So we are absolutely honored to have you part of the One Woman team. And just what we do to empower women in the world. You're a shining example of that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for doing what you do for all of us as well. You are setting a true example of what this should look like, for sure.
Thanks, Dr. Sonja. So if you're interested in booking Dr. Sonja, you can find all her speaking topics on our website at onewoman.ca. Watch all of our Fearless events coming up. You're going to see her beautiful face listed on so many of them, that you can come and see and meet Dr. Sonja herself. And be sure to check out her website. We're going to put her website on the screen. You'll see all the great things that she has going on. And if you're interested in learning and being a speaker, on being coached, on all the great things that Dr. Sonja does to empower women around this world, you can definitely get in touch with her team and see how you can work with her yourself. So thank you, Dr. Sonja, for being with us today. Any final thoughts or anything that we didn't cover that you want to share with everyone?
No, it's just whether, doesn't matter who's watching this, whether it's someone looking for their next best speaker, or someone who's going to move the audience, or if it's a woman here that's listening and she wants to be a part of even Fearless and those things, I would say, don't put it on hold. The time is now. Don't think long. There's something in your spirit that jumps. And it's like, okay, she's the one, or I need to be a part with Charlotte. I need to do what have you, and what I need to do. don't deny and don't delay the process anymore. Not going into this new year, please don't do that, because what you're doing, you're taking away, I would say, and as I think about it, I know this is a little heavy, you take away the life of someone else when you deny and delay your process and who you're supposed to become. So become the woman and the vet that you were supposed to be, and do it now.
Yes, I agree. And 2020 around the corner. This is our year as women. This is our year. And I always say the same things: is don't deny this world the gifts that you've been given to share with others. And I think that anybody who's watching this, who knows that, who feels that in their bones right now, step up. The world needs you. So we're here to help, that's for sure. So thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to myself and Dr. Sonja today. Be sure to keep watching. We'll have more with one woman, and join us at a Fearless event. And Dr. Sonja and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, bye.
Bye.